Ami Horowitz is a documentary maker, YouTuber, free thinker, and that's why we love him. He joins us now from the United States. Great man. You had the chance to go to college. Well, I don't know whether it was the first time, the second time, the 28th time, but you took a camera with you. Before we play the clip, set us up.
Yeah, so I couldn't get into the University of California at Berkeley. It was too good for me to get into. So I go back there with a hidden camera to expose the idiocy we see on campuses around the country. And what I did was, look, what I do in general is I expose the id of the left, right? I have them say the quiet part out loud, where they don't know they're being filmed. I go with provocative questions that derive from what I'm asking, truly what the left believes about the United States. And so I said, okay, and oftentimes setting this up, I will, a little behind the curtain, right, under the blanket. When I'm sitting at my home drinking scotch, coming up with these concepts, I oftentimes think, okay, I've gone too far, right? There's no way this is going to work. Paul, there's no way I can go to a university campus in America and raise money for the Taliban to kill Americans. Right, Paul? I've gone too far, right?
Yeah, way too far. Put the scotch down, Army.
I know. Enough the self-medication.
Well, guess what happens when he goes to campus? Well, this did.
I'm here at the University of California at Berkeley. There is no way I could raise money for the Taliban, right?
We want to train our fighters to strike back against American interests around the world and in the homeland.
Interesting.
We got to fight back.
I know.
And America's destroying the world, and we want to secure it for a strike against the American homeland.
I understand. Okay, that sounds great.
I don't know if you know much about American imperialism.
Oh yes, yeah.
So you know how damaging the U.S. is.
Definitely.
We want to strike the U.S. both abroad and in the homeland to teach them a lesson. Life means nothing to them.
Yeah.
And America needs to be brought to heel.
Very true. What you're talking about is really important, and I agree with you fully.
Wow. Please tell me nobody actually gave you money.
You missed the money shot.
I'm sorry, I didn't edit the clip. Tell me about the clip.
I raised hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Oh, man.
Yes. One guy turns to me and goes, I would work for you.
Really?
Okay, let me give you a sense of how surreal this whole thing was. So when I go out and I shoot things, I oftentimes shoot with guys who are, on the left, right? Because just naturally, that's the people who work in this creative fields that I work in. And my cinematographer, who's, again, hidden, about 20 minutes in, send me a text. He goes, can you stop? We go out in the corner and have a conversation. I go, sure. And I went on the corner. He looked at me. He goes, are you punking me? I go, what do you mean? I go, these actors? I go, no, why? He said, I don't know what I'm watching. This is impossible. You're telling me that I'm watching American students fund the Taliban to kill Americans for another 9/11? These are the things I said.
Yeah.
I say, yeah, man. And the point of what I do is exactly that. The point is, this guy's left of center. Now, he found that these people, right, people on the hard left, well, he might agree with all of their positions, they're fellow political travelers, right? Yeah. And my point is, he then looked at them and said, that's not me. I don't associate with that. And the point is to separate the guys on the left with the hard left. But if you look at the Democrats, and you look at what's happening there, if you look at the hard left, the Democrats, they're not being isolated by the Republicans. If you look at by the Democrats, when a Republican says something horrific and terrible, you know what they do? They primary him, they sideline him, and they basically kick him out of the party. Yeah. Okay? But when the Rashida Tlaibs and the Ilhan Omars and the AOCs demonize Israel, demonize America, demonize Jews, they're lauded. They're on the cover of Rolling Stones magazine. That's the point of what I'm doing here. That's what I'm trying to expose. It's worth watching that whole video because it's a shocking, shocking video.
I'll make sure that it's up. All of it, all the money shots are up on our socials as well here. Thomas Jefferson, has been moved to the side of important buildings. Forget the whole role he played in the establishment of the country because it's 2021 and it doesn't matter anymore, apparently, Ami.
Look, we've been saying for years that when you start taking statues down that you don't like General Lee, who I don't like to have Confederate statues, but once you start taking down statues, what happens is it's going to be a slippery slope. And oftentimes I don't believe in slippery slope, but here's a perfect example where it is true. They are taking down the statue of Thomas Jefferson, one of the framers of this country, one of the founders of this country. And It's really amazing to me. And I actually had another video which proves this is not about slavery. What this is about is revenge. Their hatred of America, and they find this a way of getting a revenge against America. I did a video, another hidden camera video, not on the campus, but in the city of New York, where I asked people to take down the statue of Washington, D.C., of George Washington. They all greedily agreed to it. And then I said, well, it's because he's a slave owner. They go, yes. I said, well, here's another petition I have to take down a statue of Muhammad because he was also a slave owner. And they said, oh, no. We don't want to do that. We won't do that. It's about white Americans. That's what it's about, their hatred of white Americans. And if you ask them, hey, why don't we start taking down statues of the slavers in Africa? Because remember, white people didn't just go to Africa and then go into the deep, interior of Africa grabbing slaves. Black people sold them to white people on the coast. Let's take down all memorials of those people. No, they don't want to do that either. They want to take revenge against the United States of America. Mm-hmm. That's what this is all about.
Yeah, but while we totally revolutionise, can you make sure that you leave all of the medicine, all of the technology? Please don't get rid of my iPhone as if somehow, modernity just can somehow be cut in the middle. It's garbage. Ami, nice to talk to you, mate.
Dirty American technology.
Dirty bastards. Thank you, mate. Thank you.